And thanks so much for tuning into the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth. The godly characteristic of the fruit of the Spirit that we're going to talk about today is your favorite, patience, right? I shared earlier, I posed the question, what area of the fruit of the Spirit do you need to grow in? Is patience one of them? Maybe you've heard this is, be careful what you pray for, because if you pray for patience, what's God going to do? He's going to give you opportunities to be patient. He's going to give you opportunities where your patience is tested. And then you will discover, are you growing in patience or are you not? Right. And so, this area, man, to be honest, um, I know when I am stepping away from the vine, when I'm not truly connected to God, um, because there's areas of my life that will show it. And what is that area? One glaring area for me personally is a lack of patience. That's that area, man. My fuse just becomes short, and I know it. Here's the thing: you probably know what yours is too. Is it? But for me personally, it is having a lack of patience. And so, thankfully, I've got some wonderful people in my life who sometimes I don't even know it. I don't realize it until they reveal it to me, right? Because a lot of times we can be blinded by some of those areas of our life, and because we cover it up, or we talked about good intentions earlier this week, and how we have maybe good intentions of being connected to the vine and growing spiritually, but if we're truly not, acting out on it and executing it, well, it's just good intentions, and it's not going to produce spiritual growth. And so those areas then will come out, right? So what is being produced out of our lives? Well, if we are connected to the vine, we will have gracious patience with others. Listen to Ephesians chapter 4, verses 1 and 2. Therefore, I, a prisoner for serving the Lord, beg you to lead a life worthy of your calling, for you have been called by God. And that is such a powerful, powerful verse that just brings about this that solidifies like who we are, right? You are called by God, right? You're not just like a nobody. You're not just set aside. No, you have a plan and a purpose that God has orchestrated, that He has positioned you, and He is calling you to live that out, right? And the only way that we can be living abundantly and flourishing is by connecting to Him, right? That's what this whole planted series has been about. And then now, as we are diving into these areas of our lives that should be produced out of, not out of our own ability, but out of our connection with God the Father. And so he's saying, he's like, guys, would you choose to live a life worthy of the calling I have for you? And then he goes in, and this is a convicting, challenging verse right here. Verse 2, Ephesians 4:2. Always be humble and gentle. Whew, that's another area of my life. Man, this is maybe a counseling session here. That's another area, is to be humble and gentle. When I when I have a lack of humility, when pride seeps in, I know that I need to go back to the Father. I know I need to be connected to Him, because that is not a godly characteristic. That is not loving. That isn't kind. That isn't good. He's saying, always be humble and gentle. He's not done. Be patient with each other, making allowance for each other's faults because of your love. What I love about that is that, and the Bible talks about this numerous times, of not just loving people because they're easy to love, or not loving people because they love you in return. What he's saying there is to be patient with people and make allowance for their faults, for the things that they don't do well, for the areas that they do fall short in, for the times when they do hurt you. Um, you make allowances for them because of your love for them, not because of what they can do for you, but because of what Christ has done for you. So this right here is probably one of the most challenging for me. Maybe it is for you. But I want you to go to the Lord today and think about your life and areas and the people in your life. Are there is there some bitterness, unforgiveness that you've been harboring? Have you not been as gentle, humble? Have you not been as patient with others? Would you go to the Father today and say, you know what, Lord, I want to be connected to you. I don't want to hold on to that because that's only hindering my growth. And so not out of your own, strength and own ambition saying, okay, I'm going to be genuine and I'm going to, make allowances for others. We're going to fall short every time if we're relying on our own strength, our own abilities. Connect to the Father. Live a life worthy of the calling he has for you. The only way we can do that is by being connected to the vine. Apart from him, we can do nothing. But when we are connected to him, we will produce much fruit. So allow the fruit of patience to develop in your life. Allow this fruit, this godly characteristic, to be displayed in your family, in your friends, in your neighbors, in your coworkers, in your foes, right? Every area of your life, display patience, making allowances for other people's faults. Hey, I want to thank you so much for tuning in all week long. We will continue these godly characteristics next week on Monday, but I want to encourage you, join us tomorrow morning. We are starting a brand new series. You're not going to want to miss it. I am so excited for tomorrow morning, 10:15 a.m. at Shrewsbury Assembly. Join us in person or online, but if you're in the area, join us in person. We'd love to see you. And then we'll be back on Monday for another daily dose for spiritual growth.